Hello YouTube, Wycliffe Barrett, Xplane dedicated. Today we're going to have a look at Orbx's True Earth US Northern California HD. This is $69.95 Australian. It covers a huge area, 212 square kilometers of Northern California. I chose Northern California because I wanted to have a look at San Francisco in the Bay Area because, well, I like it. As I say, it's $69.95 Australian dollars, that's $42.28 US dollars, and £38.51 if you're buying it here in the UK. I decided immediately that I would get into a Cessna and fly low and slow over the area because I wanted to have a good look around. Here we are flying due north towards San Francisco, and then I turned around and headed back towards the airport. But that's really not that important. What is important is the scenery itself. And Tony Robluski and his team have done an incredible job. I mean, look at the level of detail here. It is full of 3D buildings, countless trees. There are millions of trees apparently. Absolutely amazing. Not only that, it's all rendered in such beautiful detail. It just looks so good. There are millions upon millions of trees. I'm not quite sure how many. I'll get into the detail of it in a little while, but just look at this. The topography, the scenery itself is just superb. A few years ago, of course, Orbx, they were umming and ahhing as to whether they would come over to Xplane, and as I have continually said on every review of Orbx products, we are so glad that they did come. It's absolutely incredible. The scenery itself, it covers a huge area, as I said. You've got Santa Rosa, San Jose, Sacramento, the city of Sacramento, San Francisco, of course. It's all been done in such wonderful detail, and the water has all been hand cleaned water masking, so it's all new water masking and just looks superb wherever you look. Looking at the detail of what we've got here, the HD pack, which is what I am showing now, you've got the HD and the SD. HD is 1 meter per pixel, which is incredible. The SD pack is 2 meters per pixel and still gives you a very, very good rendition of the scenery that you're looking at. As I say, it's also been color corrected by hand, so everything has been color corrected to make it look as good as possible, and it does. Believe me, it looks absolutely incredible. There's over 1,000 PBR points of interest throughout the whole area, and this is just in Northern California, so it will be replicated again in the south. As you can see here as I come over the hills, absolutely stunning. This is Mr. X6's San Francisco airport. I just thought I'd have a quick look and see how it blends in with the surrounding area, and it blends in perfectly. It's almost seamless. You just cannot tell where the airport boundary ends and Orbx photo scenery begins. It is absolutely superb. And I just thought I'd pan up here and have a kind of wider view, a wider angle view of the area. We're going due north now towards the city of San Francisco. You can just about see the skyscrapers of downtown San Francisco there as we fly along. Very smooth performance at this point, I have to say. I can't remember what the frame rates were, but very smooth indeed. As I told you earlier, it's got 212,000 square kilometers of hand-corrected, cleaned aerial imagery at 1 meter per pixel, millions of individual autogen trees, shrubs grouped by type, and hand-corrected for maximum realism across the whole entire region. Here we come, we're coming down into downtown San Francisco, and all of the buildings of the Bay Area are really quite accurate. There's the Oakland Bridge on the right hand side, and as we come in here you might see the Transamerica building. It goes out to the bottom right, there it is, it's that pointy one. And as we move towards Alcatraz, which has also been depicted. At this point I thought, why not get into an airliner and let's travel a bit further and see what we can find here. I mean, just look at this detail. I'm using SkyMax Pro, the latest version, which I think is 4.9. I can't quite remember, but SkyMax Pro there being used and producing cloud over the tops of those mountains. Absolutely stunning. Some places obviously densely populated, but then, you know, as you fly over them, you begin to see California desert and a bit of agriculture as well. It is absolutely breathtaking. They've done such a perfect job on this. It is, you know, I know that's a bit hyperbole, but it is a fantastic job. Finally, I thought, let's get into the Stinson, the L5 Stinson, which is the default aircraft with Xplane 11, and just have a fly around really low and slow and have a look at everything. And here you can see me once again heading towards downtown San Francisco. I think I flew over the Bay Area, so you've got Pier 49, you've got Fisherman's Wharf all depicted there. It's really, really accurate. Once again, looking at some of the specifications and some of the product features. As I said, there's nearly 1,000 custom PBR points of interest around the state, including San Francisco's Golden Gate Bridge, which we will have a look at. Silicon Valley, and of course a lot more. Silicon Valley, of course, is where the computer age for many started, with the microchips being produced in Silicon Valley, and also I think Apple used to be there, and when it was Apple Macintosh, and as opposed to just Apple, and I think Bill Gates was also in Silicon Valley as well, right at the very beginning with Microsoft. And for those of you who are gamers, of course, a lot of gaming houses were in Silicon Valley also. Ultra detailed elevation mesh sourced from 10 meter DEM to bring out great detail in the topography and landscape, as you can see. Here we are once again coming over the city, heading, I believe I'm heading due north or northeast. Northwest I'm heading towards the Oakland Bridge there over the top of the city. That's the Oakland Bridge, and as you can see, the level of detail on these buildings is actually quite phenomenal. Alright, down the bottom there is Pier 39. Fisherman's Wharf is along there somewhere as well. It's superb. And Alcatraz, you can just see Alcatraz prison coming into the centre of the picture. I think Clint Eastwood was the only person to escape from there. Or did he go in? I can't remember. One of the two. Anyway, coming back once again to product features. Beautiful hand-cleaned water masking, which blends beautifully. Marinas have been hand-placed with 3D boats. It blends with True Earth US, absolutely superb, and also matches up with True Earth Oregon, which has been done by Orbx. In terms of requirements, there's not an awful lot that it says. It just says it's for Xplane 11. It's designed to work with Xplane 11. It doesn't talk about any particular specifications requirement, but obviously you would need something fairly hefty. I'm just looking at the map again here, and as we come over the Golden Gate Bridge, we're heading north. Yep, north towards Sonoma. Sacramento is out to our northeast. Modesto is definitely northeast. San Jose is behind us, as is Monterey and Big Sur, so they're all behind. But as we come over here, we're moving towards Mill Valley, Larkspur, and San Rafael. So it's really, I mean, just look at this. It is stunning. If you've never had any Orbx products, then I highly recommend them. I do recommend them because they are very, very good, but they are big. You need a lot of hard drive space, and it might be worth you investing in some hard drives, external hard drives, so that you've got that space, or even internal. You can get some reasonably priced hard drives now. I wouldn't go with solid state drives for scenery. You're not going to get any advantage. The only advantage you get with a solid state drive is loading the operating system of Windows. It doesn't speed up applications as such. The main advantage of SSDs over normal spinny drives is the fact that you don't need to defrag them. You never need to defrag a solid state drive. But on the downside, if a solid state drive fails, it fails completely. you lose everything. But you know, swings and roundabouts. As I say, personally, I would only use solid state drives for operating systems, but that's just my personal opinion. You may feel otherwise, and that's perfectly okay. Anyway, getting back to the scenery once again, I don't know what more I can tell you other than the names of the team that have actually done this, and I think it's important that we actually give them full credit. So Tony Roblewski is the project lead for coding and 3D modeling. Then additional developers, you've got Gaia Simulations, Byron Farrow, Mark Halliwell, Christian Howes, Philip Speakman, Farron Corcoran, Leanne Howes, and Will Adams. I think they do need full credit for what they've done here, because what they've produced is something absolutely superb. So as we come towards the end of the video, the only other three people to mention are those with specialist roles. So that's John Venimer, Chief Product Officer, Ed Correa, Chief Operating Officer, and Ben McClintock, IT Manager. For those of you in the know, of course, John Venimer is also the CEO of Orbx. Many thanks to Orbx for providing me with a copy of True Earth US and Northern California. And once again, all I can do is say it's a fabulous product. It's really now up to you whether you go and purchase it. $69.95 Australian dollars, $42.28 US dollars, and £38.51 in the UK.